Now, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says a future NDC government will not pump state resources into the uncompleted National Cathedral project. Mr. Mahama emphasized that the National Cathedral project is a personal pledge made by an individual and should not be funded with state resources. He underscored the urgency of channeling such funds into education, emphasizing the lack of essential resources in basic schools. Citi News' Christopher Kevin Asima has more in the following report, read by Emmanuel Opong.
The School of Communication Studies at Wisconsin International University College, Ghana, initiated a lecture series with the aim of becoming a torchbearer in thought leadership programs, facilitating the exchange of knowledge and expertise between industry and academia. Former President John Dramani Mahama, interacting with students and lecturers during his lecture on the NDC policies on education and unemployment, he emphasized that the priority of the NDC government will be to complete unfinished projects in the educational sector with an annual budgetary allocation earmarked for their completion.
There's a particular problem with the projects in the education sector. You go to many secondary schools, they are half-completed dining halls, half-completed dormitory blocks, half-completed classroom blocks, laboratories and everything. These were projects that were awarded by the GET Fund. This government has collateralized 60% of the income of the GET Fund in what they call the Dachi bond. And they have taken that money up front. You bring a new curriculum, the children have no textbooks in basic school for the last 4 years, and you think that giving pre-tertiary students tablets is more important. Of course, everybody knows the political expediency. The pre-tertiary students are going to register in May, because some of them would be coming 18 years and above. Some are 18 already, and they're going to be the ones voting. So this is a gift to entice them to vote for the current government.
When asked about the completion of the National Cathedral project, Mr. Mahama reiterated that a future NDC government would not invest state resources in the incomplete National Cathedral project.
From my perspective, it is his promise to build a house for God. And I don't know if God asked him for a house, you know. I'm sure that if he really had asked God what God would want him to do with $400 million, I don't think God would have chosen a cathedral. I don't think God would have chosen a cathedral when $400 million could have provided textbooks for all our students in school. I don't think God would have asked you to build him a cathedral when we could have used that money to dualize the road from here to Cape Coast. People die every day on that road because it's a single lane road. And so it was a personal promise. And if I have 400 million, God will be angry with me if I use it to build that cathedral.
Additionally, Mr. Mahama revealed plans to abolish the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, citing its failure, and merge several other non-functional ministries.
Our country is dirtier than when there was no Ministry of Sanitation. Indeed, this country was cleaner when sanitation was under local government than as a standalone ministry. And so we'll close down that ministry and we'll take the sanitation schedule back to local government. Indeed, because we want to reduce government expenditure, it's not only the sanitation ministry. In transport, aviation, and railways, we're going to close them down and send them back to the transport ministry. We're going to combine communications and information again. And so we want to reduce the number of ministries. And so with cleanliness, we think that it is a duty of the district assemblies. Every assembly has an obligation to make sure that its district is clean.